Hello my dear students and welcome back. Today I am going to teach you the remaining aerial stem modifications which we have left in the previous part. First of all, a phylloclade. Phylloclades are the aerial stem modifications which are present in plants living in extreme dry environments like deserts. And these phylloclades are flat or cylindrical stems which have taken over the function of leaves. Okay. In these plants, since they live in dry environments, their leaves are reduced to spines, and the function of leaves is performed by the main stem. Okay, and these phylloclades are green in color because they possess the green photosynthetic pigment chlorophyll. And in order to reduce the loss of water through transpiration, they show a heavy cuticle or wax deposition on the surface. And some phylloclades, they are fleshy or succulent, you can say, to store water, mucilage, and latex, and this helps them compensate for the scarcity of water in their environment. Okay, it means that they can store enough water in the stems to perform its metabolic activities. Here you can see this is the Oppensia stem, and this Oppensia stem, it is modified into a jointed, branched, flat, and succulent leaf-like structure. Okay, it is not the leaf; these are actually the axillary branches. Okay, and these axillary branches, they are green because they possess chlorophyll. And in this plant, the normal leaves are small, fleshy, and caducous. Caducous means they are shed early in the life. Okay, and in the axil of a caducous leaf, the axillary branch arises, and all the branches, stem branches of this plant, they show the distinct nodes, and these nodes are known as areoles. Okay, and at each areole, small leaves are formed, and these small leaves are reduced or they are modified to spines. And since the spine has a small surface area, this helps the plant reduce the loss of water through transpiration. We have one more example of a plant which shows the formation of phylloclade, and this is known as euphorbia. In this plant, the phylloclade is green, just like in case of cactus, Oppensia. Okay, but this is not flat; it is cylindrical, and it is also succulent. Succulent means it stores water. One more important difference is the stem of this plant. It is very much branched, and the leaves are delicate, and they are formed only during the rainy season. Okay, in this plant, the normal leaves are formed only during the rainy season. And the stems of this plant, euphorbia, it possesses a milky substance, milky latex, which helps us retain the moisture, and it also helps the plant to plug the injuries that it has received. Okay, we have another modification, aerial stem modification, which are known as cladodes. Cladodes are the modifications of stems and branches of limited growth. Let us make it here. You have a normal stem, okay, and this normal stem possesses a node. There are leaves, small leaves, okay, and in the axils of these leaves, branches arise, and these branches get modified and perform the function of photosynthesis. And these modified branches which perform the function of photosynthesis, they are known as cladodes. Okay, and these cladodes, just like the phylloclades, they are green, and they can be either flat or cylindrical leaf-like structures. And there are different examples of plants which show the cladode formation. First one is asparagus. In this plant, the cladode is one internode long. Okay, here you can see this is the node. It shows the scale leaves, and in the axils of the scale leaves, branches arise, and these branches get modified and perform the function of photosynthesis. At the next node, the process will repeat. You will have a number of cladodes. Okay, and all these cladodes, they are one internode long. Their length is one internode long. Okay. And in this plant, the true leaves are modified into spines to reduce the loss of water. Now we have another example of a plant which shows the formation of cladodes, and this is rascas. In this plant, leaf-like cladodes are born. They are produced in the axils of scale leaves. Here you can see. Okay, this is the node, and this node contains scale leaves, and in the axils of the scale leaves, these leaf-like structures, they arise, and they are known as cladodes. Okay, and these cladodes are 2 internode long. Here you can see, I will make it more clear to you. This is the node, and this is another node. Okay, this is another node. The cladode that emerges from this node, it is here 2 internode long, and the cladode that arises at this node, it is 2 internode long. Okay, the length of this cladode, it is 2 internode long. Okay, now we have another aerial stem modification which is known as thalamus. Thalamus is actually a modified stem apex which bears floral organs like sepals, petals, stems, and corpus. Here you can see, this is the image of a flower. Okay, and this portion of the flower which bears sepals, petals, stems, and corpus, this is known as thalamus. Okay, and in this thalamus, the nodes and internodes, they are usually not distinct. That means they are condensed. Okay, and in some plants, however, they become distinct. Nodes and internodes in thalamus becomes distinct in some plants. Example: elongation of internodes between sepals and petals. Okay, and that part of the elongated internode, this is known as anthophore. Example is xylene. Okay, I have told you that usually the nodes and internodes in thalamus, they are not distinct, they are compressed. Okay, condensed rather. But in some plants, the nodes and internodes become distinct, and the first example is elongation of internodes between sepals and petals, and that portion of the elongated internode is known as anthophore. Example is xylene. You can see in the image. Okay, this is the elongated internode. Okay, and this elongated internode is known as anthophore. Now we have another example. There is an elongated internode between petals and stems, and that elongated internode is known as androphore. Okay, if you have an elongated internode between petals and stems, that elongated internode is known as androphore. Here you can see in the image this portion. Okay, this portion of the thalamus, this is known as androphore, and the example is passiflora. Or you can here see the elongated internode between petals and the stems. Okay, this portion of the thalamus, this is known as androphore. Or in some cases, the internode becomes elongated between stamens and corpus. Okay, and at that time, this is known as gynophore. Example is kilium. Here you can see. Here you are having stems. Okay, these are the stems, the region from which the stems arise, and this portion, I mean this blue portion, okay, which is an elongated internode, this is known as gynophore. Okay, so simply stated, you can remember that usually the nodes and internodes on the thalamus, they are condensed, but there are some exceptions. First of all, anthophore, the elongated internode between sepals and petalus. Then we have androphore, the elongated internode between petalus and staminus. Okay, and then we have gynophore. It is the elongated internode between staminus and carpellus. Okay, and this is all about the different types of stem modifications, and with this we are done with the modifications of stem, and in the next part we are going to start with the morphology of leaves and the associated leaf modifications. Till then, God bless you and thank you.